Please help me give a huge round of applause to Mr. David Wood!
How do you live your life? How do you approach business? You dip your toe into the water only after 3 people have told you that the water's fine? Or are you the kind of person that plays halfway? Or are you someone who plays full out? What I'd like you to be able to do is to make money by helping the world and doing something that you're passionate about. My life experience is valuable. Woo!
Hey, this is David Wood from SolutionBox and CoachingMBA.com, and congratulations again on registering for the webinar, Your Six-Figure Coaching Blueprint, before the seats fill up. So well done on that. I'm looking forward to giving you some great content. Now here's a video to prepare you for it and make sure you get the most out of it. And I'm coming to you, by the way, from a cafe in lovely Berkeley, California. There's my my motorbike out there. I thought I get more creative sometimes when I get out of the house. So anyway, I'm going to share this video now on how to project your coaching income for the next 12 months. Whether you're an existing coach and you want to get up to 10,000 or more a month, or if you're a new coach and you're thinking, how am I ever going to make money? I think you're going to find this a real eye-opener. And watch out for the negotiation technique that I'm going to teach you. And at the end, I'll ask you a question for you to answer below, so watch out for that. All right. Here we go. Now, why listen to me? I don't usually address this, but for some people who don't know who I am, here are some of the reasons. I built my own six-figure coaching practice to about $120,000, working 2.5 days a week. So I'm impacting people around the world, and I didn't have to work like 5, 6, 7 days to make it happen. I've personally mentored over 100 coaches myself, and I co-founded a global coach training school. So I've applied these techniques, and I've tried what works, and I've tried what doesn't work as well. And coaches have paid me, if you add it up with my coaching products, $2.5 million to serve them. So I just want to let you know, if you've kind of just tuned in, that I didn't just start this yesterday. I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I have found what works and what doesn't, and I want to bring you what works today. So let's look at the worst coach ever. Like, what if your skills are terrible? What if you're just starting out? People ask, well, will people pay me? How am I going to actually make an income at this? So you might be surprised what you find out in this short video. Now, important, I can't guarantee your results. I can't guarantee my results. I don't know you, I don't know your stats. But let's look at terrible stats. Like if you did really badly, and you can adjust for your situation, plug in your own numbers. I'm going to help you work out what you might expect in your first month of coaching and your first year. So here's the income projection. 3 simple steps. You do an enthusiastic invitation and say to someone, hey, I want to give you a free consultation. Great value, no strings attached. Some people will say yes, some people say no. Out of those people who say yes, you move on to doing a killer free consultation. Then at the end of that, you invite people to be a client. Some people will say no, some people will say yes. That's the simple 3 steps. What we're going to look at is your statistics and what's likely for you, even if you're terrible. So this is a high action, terrible skill model. If you're willing to take high action and you're willing to do it badly, let's look at what could happen. Now, you'll get so much more out of this if you take a piece of paper and a pen and you pause the video and you truly come up with your own answer. Don't let me spoon feed you numbers. I want you to come up with your numbers. So suppose you extended 20 invites a week. You're calling people that you know and you're saying, hey, I'm doing like 5 free consultations this week. I'd like to do one with you. My goal is to give you amazing value, and we're going to look and see if we might be a fit for each other for long-term coaching. No obligation, no strings attached. You're going to love it. So you do 20 invites a week. Now, how many people are likely to say yes to that offer? Just come up with a number, like 1 or 19. Pause the video and write down your number on a piece of paper. How many out of 20 are likely to say yes? All right, I'm moving on. Seriously, if you write it down, you're going to get so much more out of this. Whoops. Now, a number that I often hear is, well, I hear higher than, I hear like, usually like 60, 70%, but let's just say you're terrible. Let's suppose 6 out of 10 people say no. Free session, no strings attached, high value, talking about my life. Let's say 6 out of 10 people tell you no, and you get 40% conversion rate for that. So out of 20 people, that gives you 8 yeses. If you do that each week over the whole month, you've got 32 consultations a month, 32 free consultations that you're doing. All right, that's your first statistic. Now let's look at what happens out of those 32 people. Let's suppose you've sat them down, you've said, I'm going to give you value, I'm going to invite you at the end to do coaching if it feels good. You go through a great goal for them, like what would really light you up. You look at what's been missing, what the problem is. You look at how coaching can help. And at the end of that, you say, you know what? I'd love to work with you. I think I'd love to work with you for a good solid 6 months to really make this happen. So I'd like to invite you to a coaching committed structure, and the cost for 6 months is $1,800. Let's say your fees are $300 a month, right? It's $1,800 for 6 months. What do you say we give it a whirl? And then you shut up. Now here's my next question to you. This is very important. Out of 32 people, how many are likely to say yes to a 6-month commitment? How many are likely to say, you know what? I think I'm actually ready to really move on this. And 2 months, I spent that on my last vacation. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Pause the video and write down your number. All right, I'm moving on. Let's suppose, and a way to visualize it, let's suppose you got 32 people in a room you've just done the session with, and you invite them to a 6-month structure. How many are likely to put up their hand? Now, I hear different numbers, but I'm going to go with a low number. Let's suppose only 2 people out of 32 say, I'm ready to do 6 months and I'm going to give it a whirl. So I put that down. For my stats, you put in your stats, 2 people. Now this is important, and this is where you get the important negotiation technique. Suppose you go back to the 30 people who are left, because 2 have already signed up, they've left the room. You get another 30 people in the room, and you say to them, you know what? I really want to work with you on this. I think we're going to make a big impact in your life. So what if we just did a 3-month trial? We'll do it for 3 months, give it a whirl, and I think you're going to love it. And if you do, then we do another 3 months. And if you don't, fine. How many people now that it's $900 instead of $1,800, are likely to say, wow, a $900? Yeah, 3 months? I can get my head around that. You know what? I'm going to do it. Pause the video and give me your number for the people who now say yes to 3 months. All right, moving on. I hear different numbers, but I'm going to go with a low number. Out of 30 people, you've now halved the cost. Let's say only 3 people, only 1 in 10. Say, all right, 3 months, 900 versus 1,800. Yeah, let's do it. And again, you put in your number. Now, suppose you've got, what do you got left? You've got 27 people left in the room. The rest have signed up. They've already given you their money. How many people, if you went back and said, I really want to work with you, I'm just looking for how to do it. I think 3 months is really the right time frame to commit. Firstly, let me check that we've got the right goal for you. Like, this is really important. It's really going to make a difference in your life, because you may find out you don't. They're like, yeah, I'd like to get fit, but I don't really care. Let's assume you found the right goal. They said, yeah, that's it. I just can't afford $900. So you know what? I'd like to work with you. I'm going to invest in you. How about we just do a trial month and $300, and we just really knock it out of the park. And if you love it, we keep on going, and then we'll sign you up for a 3-month structure. How many people out of the 27 left in the room are likely to say, well, if you're going to make it 300 instead of 1,800 or 900, yeah, hell, I'll do a trial month. Put in your number. Okay, I hope you've been pausing this. If not, you should redo it, because this is the real value. I hear a lot of different numbers. Let's say only 3 people. 27 people left in the room. You've gone from 1,800 down to 300. Let's say only 3 people say, yeah, I'll do a month. Next one, and I think this is gold as well. You're still not done. Let's suppose you say, wow, you know, I really want to work with you, and I see that money's a big issue. I see that you really want it, and we could really make a big difference. How do you think we could work together? And ask them different things. Like, you could invite them to trade. Do you have anything you could trade? Do you have some kind of a skill? And let's suppose they don't come up with anything, and you say, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to invest in you because I really think you're going to be a great testimonial. I'm willing to offer you 50% off. And you can say 1 month of coaching or 3. I'll give you the whole 3 months for 50% off right now if you promise to give me a great testimonial, assuming the coaching's great, and you send a bunch of people my way. I'll ask you for referrals, and if it's going great, you'll just send me, refer me to some people who could really use me. How many people are likely to come back and say, you're going to give me half off? I'm in. Pause the video, this is important, and give me your number. All right. Again, I hear different numbers. I'm going to say out of the 24 people left, the other people are signed up. You've already got clients. And the 24 people left, you're giving them half off. Only 4 do it. I'm going to say 20 people went through this whole process with you, got enrolled in a possibility, and still said, no, even for half off, I'm still not doing it. There's nothing you can do to make me do it. So these are terrible skill stats because I want you to see like close to the worst case scenario. So what do we got here? We got 8 full clients who said yes, some to 3 months, some to 6 months, some to 1 month, and 4 who've said yes to half off. That gives us 8 plus the equivalent of 2 full clients. It gives us the equivalent of 10 full paying clients, which gives you $3,000 in your first months of coaching. Now again, I'm not saying you'll do this. I'm asking you to put in your numbers so that you can estimate what's likely. I say, even if you're terrible, and if you're willing to extend the invitations, $3,000 a month is what you would pull in your first month if you had these conversion rates. I'm just giving you the math. Now, what's it look like in month 2? This is important. If you continue to extend invitations, let's assume you're really bad at coaching because you're new. And I still don't think you'd be bad, but let's suppose you lose half of your clients every month. Half of them run out the door. Then you're going to pull in $3,000 in month 1, and you're going to pull in $4,500 in month 2. Why? Because you've just pulled in another $3,000 from the invitations, and you're getting half what you got last month because you lost half your clients. So now you're up to $4,500 for the month. If you run the numbers through, and you keep losing half of your clients every month, which is really bad, then by month 12, you'd be earning $6,000 a month. Again, this is not a promise, this is math. Your first year income, if you add up all those months, comes to $66,000. Now, I want to know, honestly, does that surprise you? It surprised me when I sat down and just ran the numbers and saw what consistency and high action would do even before you have the skills. Now, here are some questions people ask then, because they're like, 3,000? Like in the first month, if I really crank it? Well, some people might ask, what if I run out of people to ask? 20 each week, like I might know a couple hundred people, I'm going to run out. Well, remember the client flow chart I showed you before, the 3 easy steps? Well, what we teach you in Coach MBA is we teach you how to leverage your network to get referrals. Because maybe you know 200 people, but each of those people knows 200 people in their network, or even 50. Added up, 50 times 50, it's a big number. So we'll teach you how to leverage referrals to keep a constant stream of free consultations. Next, the alliances. We will teach you how to build long-lasting alliances so you can have a steady stream of referrals. So that's how you handle that. Now, some people might ask, what if I don't have time to do 20 invites? Or what happens when I improve my stats? Like if I get some training and I improve my conversion rates, what happens to the numbers then? Well, let's take a look at it. And you plug in your own numbers. We just went through the high action, low skill model in the first column. What about if you didn't do 20 per week, you just extended 10 invites per week? Maybe you got a job, maybe you got a family, maybe you don't have that much time. 10 per week, and let's suppose instead of 4 out of 10 saying yes to a free consultation, 7 out of 10 say yes. You know, you train, you work on an invitation, people are like, this is a no-brainer. Let's suppose you bump your fees from $300 to $400 a month. Let's suppose your conversion rate, instead of 25%, is what we're working on before at your full rate, let's suppose you get it up to 4 out of 10. You go from 6 months to 3 months to 1 month. Suppose you get just 4 out of 10 saying yes to that. And suppose your retention is a more reasonable number, like 80%. Particularly if you're getting people signing up for 6 months and 3 months, they tend to stick around because they've already paid. So, you put in your own numbers. I'm just putting in some sample numbers. If you got 80%, your first month's income then, and this is from 10 invites per week, not 20. Your first month's income then is $5,600. And you can do this math yourself. Don't trust my math, do your own. Your income in month 12, if you keep doing this each week and extending the invitations, is $11,000, $11,200. So your first year income, you've now cracked 6 figures, potentially in your first year, if you hit these statistics. So let's go through some more FAQs. Some people say, how much money does this cost to run this kind of model? You need a computer and you need a phone. That's one of the things I love about this model. You also don't need to pay for a website. You don't need to deal with a whole bunch of technology. I should have mentioned that too. What if I'm not confident at invitations, free consultations, or even coaching sessions? Well, I've just given you the stats for someone who's not confident in all that. So we've already covered what you could expect if you're not confident. And we'll train you in the Coach MBA program to handle each of these statistics: invitations, free consultations, and your coaching sessions. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed that video and got a lot out of it. You're going to get a lot more in the upcoming webinar, your 6-figure coaching blueprint. So I look forward to delivering that to you. Make sure you set your reminder, and again, please dial in 5 minutes early, because once 100 people are on the line, the bridge will fill up and you won't get in. Now, my question for you to answer below is, what's the number one thing that you heard in this video about either negotiating or projecting your income or the numbers game that you feel is most valuable to you right now in your business? What stuck out for you? I'd love to read it below. And again, if you like the video, please click the like button. All right, cheers.